on the internet. I'm back on YouTube. Hi. I had taken a break from it. I had taken a break from YouTube. I uploaded a video where you could tell that I had gained some weight. Even right here and under my neck looked fatter. It was, I had gained, with all my clothes on, if I had worn heavy winter clothes and heavy boots, I weighed about 248 pounds. 248 pounds. What happened was earlier this year, I was acting cool and sexy and trying to play music because I quit my medicine and I felt so mentally well adjusted when I quit my medicine and quit caffeine. It was quitting caffeine that did it, and quitting the medicine, which I no longer had an appetite as much. And I made sure to get plenty of sleep without the caffeine, and then I was like feeling good earlier this year. And then I got tempted to lose even more weight and get more cut or lose body fat, which is not what happens when you drink caffeine. It ends up being a roller coaster. You might lose a lot of weight and then gain more back. So I tried drinking caffeine again. It messed it all up, so I had to get back on my medicine. And then I got in a really heavy dose of medicine. So I got in a really heavy dose of medicine, and I got up to 248 pounds like a few weeks ago with all my clothes on and everything. It was really like 230 something pounds. And it was awful because I was on this heavy medicine that made me have a really big appetite, or just wanted to keep eating. I didn't have the motivation to work out as much, but I kept working out a lot, and I made sure to eat as much protein as I could, because you don't want to eat as much when you're eating protein. And then somehow, by some weird thing, I got way stronger than I had ever been on my bench press when I was feeling horrible for like 2 months, mind racing on caffeine. I was having like 20 or 30 cups of coffee a day, trying to make up for it by having too much psychiatric medicine. It made me gain all this weight, and it sucked. It sucked. So I quit the medicine again a week ago, almost a week ago, and I quit all caffeine forever. I can't have any more caffeine. I threw it in the garbage, and I just can't have it. And I felt really good, mentally well adjusted again. And it took a little longer, and I slowly started losing weight. I've lost 16 pounds or something like that. That was in the past, like, I don't know if, I guess, couple weeks or something. Maybe it was a couple weeks of quitting the medicine. And I felt really mentally well adjusted again because I wasn't having caffeine and I didn't have the medicine. So I'm feeling pretty good. And I guess other people are going to watch this later or something. I feel okay. I haven't been doing huge workouts, but I was there for a while. And I work out here and there and stuff, but while I was eating more food, heavily caffeinated and on heavy medicine that was making me eat more, I sat down in front of a computer, and this really had me gain weight near the end, and I wrote an entire book. I wrote my first book, and I've been really good at creative writing since high school. Since I started in high school, I had a gift for it, an ability for it. I was really good at being grammatically correct. I spoke in really proper English, and wrote in really proper English because my parents had master's degrees and they raised me and taught me how to read and write properly. I'm really good at typing. I can type like sometimes 140 words a minute, and or 120 words a minute. And I'm good at writing. I'm really good at writing. I've written screenplays. I've written 3 screenplays. And when people would just read the screenplay in my class, my film school at LMU, when they'd read the screenplays, they would cry in laughter because there were comedy scripts, and there were more than one people crying from laughing so hard in the classroom. It was really good. It was like, I had I had an ability at screenwriting, and I worked really hard at it. I'd write for 8 hours straight when I was younger. I'd create about 15 pages of finished script. Of course, it was in proper format, like a real screenplay. You know, um, it was really well written, interesting, and I was good at screenwriting. Hi, and so that's creative writing. I'm good at it. I had an ability from it from the start, so I worked hard at. And then I produced my whole movies, and the whole movies myself instead of selling them or getting them made at a big budget. And so I was like, I'm a good writer and a good screenwriter. And I was writing Danica thousands of emails to make sure her and my kids are okay. To make sure her and my kids are okay. And instead of writing her, I started writing a book. And I wrote an entire book in the past few weeks. And for a while, I was eating really heavy because I was on a heavy dose of psychiatric medicine. I was on twice what I was usually taking. I didn't think this time it would cause weight gain, but it caused a lot of weight gain. Then I quit the medicine, quit all caffeine again, and I've lost 16 pounds. And I finished writing all or most of the book, and it's a how to be a filmmaker book. And it's a special book, I think, because people will learn almost everything there is about how to really be a filmmaker. um, and it's special because my mom was a teacher, my dad was a teacher, my grandmother was a teacher, maybe other people teachers in my family. So I have an ability at teaching. I've always been really good at teaching. Um, I taught my children how to do art, and Ivan is really good at art, and he's only 11 years old. I've never seen another 11-year-old as technically and creatively good, but you can't really say one artist is better than another. They're different. They may have different styles or things that they're good at, but he is really good at art, and Rowan is good at art, and I taught them myself, so I'm good at teaching, and I've taught an intro to filmmaking class. So not only that, I have an MFA, so I'm able to teach at the university level from one of the best film schools. And I worked at films for 20 something years and I'd say me as a writer of a book, a filmmaking book, I'm almost one of the best ones there could be for that type of book, that kind of book. You're probably better at other stuff that you do than I am, but I do filmmaking, and that's what I've done, and that's what I'm good at. And I'm good at creative writing and a good teacher. So for writing this book, I think I'm going to be one of the best people they can learn from when people buy a filmmaking book. I'm going to try to promote it and get it into stores, and really try to make money at it. And I think it should make money, because looking back at the film books that I read in film school, I have about the same credentials as the people who would write the books back then that I learned from. And that's it. I wrote a book, and maybe 80,000 words or something like that, like 240 pages. And it's in really proper grammar because I learned that from my parents, and they're good at reading and writing and, stuff like that. And yay. So that's it. I finished the book, most of it. Now I got to go back in and format it, fit it to every page. I have pictures throughout the book. I designed some stuff for Photoshop. I'm going to design the cover and have physical copies of it printed up. And I've been working really hard at that. But for a while, I was on really heavy medicine. I kept writing, eating food, writing. And I sat there all day one day and wrote for 14 hours. I may have gained a few pounds of fat in that one day of just eating and writing for 14 hours. And and then I lost 16 pounds. I quit the really heavy medicine, and quit all caffeine. The caffeine had me like my mind racing. And so now I'm thinking what I can do to pay my bills. I've been working constantly at stuff. If it's not that, it was like how to get my house in order to rent it out to make money. Make money because I have, I know, and uh, uh, yep, that's how he speaks. He's a good speaker and actor. He says, and 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 um, he's actually said it by accident at that time. Okay, but I wrote a whole book, and I'm thinking of ways to pay the bills, and it's not always easy. Has it ever been easy trying to pay the bills? It's like I'm working constantly at things, and this is my break. This is me finally taking a break where I could not take it anymore. I couldn't take it anymore. It was constantly working at things all hours of the day, no socialization. Um, I'd feel alone at the end of the day and have no one to go to, have to keep writing and keep writing. And because I have to pay my bills. I don't have millions of dollars. I can't just retire. I can't retire. Um, I don't know how much money I have, but that has been like an ongoing fucking problem for like like having to pay the bills. It sucks. It sucks. I'd like to just be relaxing finally, but I guess I can just relax or whatever it's called. Relax. Feels good to your butt. I know, man. I don't know who I'm laughing like. These people in this town who don't know anything about filmmaking or the things that I like to work at. And I don't have a wife who understands that stuff, who I can talk about what we're working at. Like my parents work in real estate, and they have one another to talk about their houses, the prices. They have each other to talk about that and work together with. And I don't have someone like that. And I want someone like that who like understands, and if it's too much, don't talk about it at all. But at least understands that we're like the same people who love, an equal we love one another and get to be together. But I don't have that. I don't have like a wife, and it's like pretty difficult having no one to emotionally support me besides like at a smaller level, like some people in my life at a smaller level, but not someone who's really an equal, who really believes in me with everything the same way that I would believe in her with everything. Whoever, there's no one here. It's just talking to myself. And I just about had a breakdown from working too hard and thinking about Danica. Like, did she ever believe in my work that much? She believed in me to look good. She believed in me in other things. That helped a lot because I didn't have confidence before I met her. Yeah. So I wrote a whole book. I might move to Los Angeles. I might move to Los Angeles to be around people who work in the movie industry. There's more of them to choose from there. I wouldn't just get along with any of them. It might be like, why am I even talking to them? But I think I might move to Los Angeles, so maybe I can meet a wife, because apparently Danica doesn't want to be with me. Danica doesn't want to be with me, apparently. So beat a dead horse. Smell. I have the cats sometimes. There's been this plumbing thing downstairs that I've been trying to fix, and I can only take a shower. I can take a shower now. I guess I can take a shower every day finally. But I've been working on this plumbing thing, And I don't want to work on those types of houses. I don't want to work on real estate anymore. That's kind of what Roanoke is. Like, there are only some jobs that, well, supposedly there are artists who make a living here, but I've never met one of them. And unless you consider an artist a videographer, a videographer, because I know of two or three of them in this part of the country who make a living at that on YouTube. Because I'm a videographer. I'm a videographer on YouTube. That's what I became out here, videographer. That's what you can do. But if you live far enough out in the woods away from it, they won't hurt you. Who? The filmmaker people out there, mean opposite of it. Train your brain on the evil opposite of make you into one of them. Fuck away from it. Tired of it. I want someone who loves me for who I am and not have a bad smell of fucking crap from somewhere. Because the toilets didn't fucking flush and it feels humiliating having to work on that stuff. You got to go into the fucking racist place and fit in with them, or else. And then what's in Hollywood? A bunch of Jews. Oh, you 80% Jew. Well, I have that 20% chance of making it compared to how they have. Unless you're from a wealthy elite family of hundreds of millions of dollars, like Mel Gibson, who was from the slave owning days in the South, and his family then moved out to good old Mel Gibson, big megalo billionaire millionaires, hundreds of millions, not just millionaires, hundreds of millions at least, or billions of dollars from the old slave days in the South. That's Mel Gibson's family. That's why he had a chance, even though most of them are all Jewish. Most of them are all Jewish. I looked into my favorite ones I've been thinking about. Pauly Shore, Jewish. Sylvester Stallone, Jewish. He's not really Italian. He's not really Italian. Come on. Rob Reiner, a Jewish person, made The Princess Bride, insulting a Sicilian. Hey, he's crazy shit. Blame it on Sicilians. And then he dies. That guy in the movie, he was a bad guy, blames his bad guyness on being Sicilian, then he's killed. Oh, ha, so funny. Jews are the best. And Mel Gibson, he's from a wealthy elite family that, how could he go wrong? So it didn't matter if he was Jewish or not. And then here in this part of the country, they don't have fucking anyone who understands movies or any original music that works at it that I know of. They have so few to choose from. You're like, well, that one I don't really get along with, but there's only a few more. In LA, there are hundreds of thousands of them. There are millions of actors in Los Angeles. Millions of actors, just actors in Los Angeles. They might have 40 of them here, you know? It's like, I want a wife who understands all that so I can be happy and godly and Jesus-like and get along with all those people who are so different from me and be kind to them anyway, and, you know, belittle myself or whatever the fuck I have to do to be kind and godly to them all, and then have a wife who I can come home to who understands me at the end of the day, who was brought to me by God, not just any wife for the sake of a wife. You can't just fake that. You can't meet a wife out of nowhere. So, I don't know. Who knows? I'm afraid to go into the town, what they did to me here. I'm afraid. They already hurt me. Please don't hurt me anymore. They already hurt me. I'm probably going to have to leave the town because of how they were to me here. It's really terrified me, and I haven't gone into town in more than a month for what happened, and it caused me to gain 26 pounds of fat. It had me so worried. I had to cut my hair short. At one time, I dyed it all black to fit in. They had me so worried here. for the way I was making videos earlier this year or something. I don't know what the fuck I did wrong. Just being myself, a kind person. I don't know what the fuck it is. Maybe have to sell my whole fucking house and leave town to Los Angeles or something, where I can fit in with people who understand me or who I'm like and they're kind to me. I don't get it. This house is a really special house, and I like it here. I like it in my town, but I'm afraid to go into town. I haven't gone into town for more than a month. That's how I was treated here. Some police officer, I don't want to talk about it. I'm terrified of the person. Haven't really been making much of any videos. Haven't been making much of any videos besides this one. Even right now, I'm 10 pounds heavier than I was. I had gained 26 pounds of fat. It's not easy. So I haven't done videos because what are you going to say? They just want to hurt you. They want to hurt me or something for being myself, for being a kind person. Yeah. Well, maybe we can't always make a living at it like those rock stars they showed us when we were growing up. Maybe that was my problem, is that the media idealized that stuff, like the rock stars and the famous movie people. And I thought, hey, I'll finally feel okay. And then it just was too, I don't know. Hi. Hi. I know. Oh, a good way to lose weight is to not be on heavy psychiatric medicine. Talk to your doctor if you're on psychiatric meds and have that adjusted. I got up to like 230 something pounds, but 262 pounds, I don't know. It's not as bad as like 280 or 300. I don't know. Just a good old boys. Never done any harm. They had a song growing up by the Dead Kennedys called The Goons of Hazard, where stars on your TV will leave you in a pool of blood and we always get off scot-free. But they might be good or bad. Oh man. I don't know what the guy is like now. The good looking one who was a blonde in the 70s or 80s, and now he's like considerably older and he has a YouTube channel. I don't know what the guy is like now. It could be good or bad. I watched that show growing up. That was one of my favorite shows. I got the Dukes of Hazzard car as a child. Yeah, I started listening a few weeks ago. I started listening to music again. That was pretty nice that I got to listen to music again. And to get motivated and work out again. I listened to the Christian. I said, Alexa, play Christian heavy metal. And it worked. There was real Christian heavy metal. And there were various bands who played Christian heavy metal, but they did play some Dio songs. I don't understand why they played some songs by Ronnie James Dio. But I have not been into Ozzy Osbourne as much because I guess Um, I haven't been into Ozzy Osbourne as much, and for some reason Dio showed up and it sounded pretty good. He's actually, I think, Sicilian. Um, but when he does that heavy metal symbol, see, I was thinking the Sicilians do a heavy metal symbol. I don't even do it. Um, the Sicilians would do a heavy metal symbol. And the Texas people would do a heavy metal symbol for their big Texas Longhorns football team in the crowd. They'd all do that in the crowd, a heavy metal symbol. And it doesn't really mean devil if those people are doing it there. Because I know the Sicilians didn't mean it as a devil thing. It had nothing to do with the devil. It meant something, they would do it. But I don't do it. And I don't ever want to do it because it's like they started saying it was the heavy metal devil stuff and all that. But Dio would do it. And I was thinking maybe it's not that bad because supposedly it was Christian songs. But you never know with those people. Even the Christian music is not the literal gospel from from what the Bible says. It's not the literal gospel, which means the gospel of Jesus Christ. So even those Christian songs, they might have random sinful stuff in there, and then regular music. I mean, of course they have random sinful stuff. It's not always the best, but here and there, I got to listen to regular music. I'd been so kind to Jesus, like I wasn't listening to music much, and then by some miracle, I got to listen to music again, like AC/DC. But some of those AC/DC songs are pretty bad. Highway to Hell, and stuff like that. But there's something kind about it and good about it that was for me, and it was like I got motivated by listening to AC/DC, and I got in shape and got excited about doing music. And I played music for a while on my channel, and it did not get near as big as I thought. And I had to put a lot of them somewhere you can't really see them all because I was improvising. I was improvising most or all of the songs. I was just improvising everything I played. I didn't memorize an exact song and write it and do it ahead of time, spend a long time on one song. That could take 50 hours, one finished song. When it's produced and finished and done and everything, it takes a long time. You just spend effort on it and then it comes out really good. You spend a lot of effort and time on it, maybe you can make money at it, but it takes a lot of effort. And I was working on just playing more often and getting in shape and singing more often. So I assumed that because I had been playing guitar so long, like since I was a child, that I could just improv as I go and it would be really good. And I had to put some of it on private because it was like, wow, if I had written it and thought it out more, I would have said, oh, some people would get angry at that or something. Maybe I can show something else. Maybe I can show something else. But I'm feeling a little happier now. I lost 16 pounds after I had gained 26 pounds. Something happened in Roanoke when I just tried to drive my car and go into town. And it was so old it hit a stop sign on its own because the gas pedal got stuck down. It was driving on its own and it was terrible. And I got so worried about it, I gained 26 pounds and was on heavier medicine. I had to go back on my medicine. The medicine caused the weight gain too. I was really depressed, probably more than anyone who will ever watch this, for 2 months. But for some reason, I didn't plan to kill myself. I wasn't planning to kill myself, and I won't kill myself. And I don't know. And that sucked. And then near the end of it, and I got my house ready, I started getting my house better, and I wrote a whole book. That was fun, writing a book. Finally not having to work out because I was eating more food and stuff, and I had like every day I'd have to like do some type of workout. One day I spent 14 hours writing, and I just ate all this food in between. Like I'd write as much as I could, keep writing. I'd come back write. And I did that for 14 hours and wrote, I think, most of the book. Then I spent days after that, um, really getting the thing in order and writing more. And I kept writing, and I now have a book. It's a good book. Teaches you how to be a filmmaker. Teaches you how to be a filmmaker. Um, I'd like to have a wife I can talk to stuff about, because Danica, I don't know what she's doing. She has ignored my messages. She has ignored my messages for months. I think months or weeks, months. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know how to get in touch with my kids. They stopped writing back a few weeks ago. I don't know how to get in touch with them. I try calling them about every day, writing to them every day. They were taken away from me. My closest loved ones were taken away from me. The only ones who understood. We did the movie stuff and all that stuff that I liked, that I know how to do. And even if we couldn't do it, we'd have each other to go. There's no one here. Is the fucking drum set. I don't know why it's showing a drum set, but this happens to be where it fucking is. If it was showing this, it would. I could turn the camera here and see what else it's showing. Somebody, I don't know why I would go to, you can't go to a drum set as a person with love and acceptance and support. You understand? And guess what? It's a fucking $1,000 drum set. So fuck anyone who thinks that this is like some too expensive fucking thing. It's $1,000. Are you so fucking poor you can't afford a $1,000 drum set? Making $8 an hour, you can fucking afford it. So why do people think that this is like it cost $1,000 fucking dollars? You work a while, you can afford $1,000 here and there. You save up $1,000, buy a drum set. People are angry because I show this drum set in the video. Are they that fucking petty at a tiny level that they think that this is, oh, I don't get it. I don't get it. They want you to have a little shit drum set. When I've been playing since I was 12 years old, I should be heard by kings, it says in the Bible, for how good I am at drums. I deserve this drum set. I know I deserve drums. Hey, I might not have it later. Guess what? Who gives a fuck? I had to be in Los Angeles and all these little apartments at colleges where I couldn't have a drum set. All those years, decades, I think. And finally, I got back to Roanoke where I could play drums and the neighbors wouldn't complain. And even in Los Angeles, one time I did have a drum set, a small drum set. It cost like $140 or something, or like $300. It was a cheap drum set. Those are the drum sets I had all those years when I was really good. And I did play really loud and let it echo through the streets sometimes in LA at some places that I stayed at. It's so stupid. It's like, do you think that I spent this much time trying to frame a drum set in the shot? This is one of thousands of videos. This is one of thousands of videos. I don't know why it happens to even show a drum set. It's like, this is not my best filmmaking. This is a live video. It's like going to here to talk to someone and it's like pretending like it's going to my drum set as the person close to me. Ugh, it's ridiculous. I deserve a meager little $1,000 drum set. Yes, in 1986, it originally cost $10,000, but I found it online and had to drive really far to get it, and it was only $1,000. Ah, so stupid. Such a petty little thing. It's ridiculous. People are caught up on like things that it's like, it doesn't matter. Do you know how small this is compared to the A-listers in the movie industry? I I don't know. I think there's like somebody who watches and they think, yeah, he's always got that drum set in his Marshall stack. He's got such good stuff. Why isn't he using it? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I've done so many productions with my stuff, way more than you. Whoever thinks that about me. I've done way more work of my original music and my original films with my equipment than you've ever done. So stop attacking me. Stop attacking me. These petty little fucking things. $1,000 drum set. So ridiculous. $1,000? Okay, that's some value. There are homeless people out there. You know, there are human beings who it's so ridiculous. If you gave a drum set, they wouldn't know the first fucking thing to do with it. It's not for that person. They don't play the drums. They would not get the tremendous use that I've gotten out of these drum sets on so many recordings of songs that I recorded myself or with other friends. It's like trying to talk to a wife and there's a drum set there instead. It's ridiculous. Yeah, this is terrible. I'm 43 because I gained weight. I can look way younger and better, but I'm still 43. That's not going to change that much, but I think I can look pretty good for my age. I think I can look pretty good for my age. Maybe I should turn the camera away from this stupid stuff we're talking about. I was afraid for so long to tell anyone what was really going on in my life until this video. I had gained 26 pounds, mostly fat from too heavy medicine, from having this accident where my gas pedal got stuck down and hit a stop sign. It shook me up enough getting in an accident, and then they came back and did this. I can't even say. They didn't do anything wrong, right? And I gained 26 pounds of fat, worried about it, on heavier medicine. What else did it do? Caused me tremendous depression. Thought I was going to die every day for 2 months from it. It's not their fault though. I might leave town to Los Angeles after that. And I don't have someone really close to relate to and hug and be close to, who I can be in love with too, not just some family who already have their husband or wife and closest loved ones, or they're not going to give me that much of love and acceptance from those other people. I don't get much love and acceptance usually from those other random people after I had a wife, a real wife, an equal, who was taken away from me, who's turned against me, I'm going against God, and I don't want to talk about it. And then my children physically, I don't want to talk about it, taken away from me. So it's like I'm by myself, figuring out how to make enough money to pay the bills. It's something that doesn't make me feel so horrible that I want to die. Constantly working at stuff. And it feels okay sometimes too. It's just not very happy. You know Keanu Reeves? He's a workaholic. He is a workaholic, determined on his career. That's pretty much all he does. That is all he does, Keanu Reeves. He works at looking good as an actor. He works at getting roles, promoting himself, promoting that image of all-around likable guy who's popular. He wants to get bigger and bigger at it. That's what he does. He works at that relentlessly. It may be cold and alone for him sometimes because that's really what he does. I don't know. He may have really close people in his life, but he is a workaholic. He is a workaholic, and I don't know if it's good or bad. And for a while, I was like, I really like the other guy in the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, because the other guy has a family and kids, and he's more of like, I don't know. It's just hard to judge, but like, you don't want to end up becoming someone who works really hard and then you're not always nice about it, because that could be a worker of unrighteousness. That could be a worker of unrighteousness. Those people go to hell after they live. So the whole purpose is to be kind to others, on earth. And it's not always easy. And it's not always like being the cool one in front of camera or something like that. But you can't just serve yourself. That's what the devil does. He's selfish. He only serves himself, the devil. And guess what? He'll be burning in the lake of fire for all eternity. Every moment of his existence never allowed rest in a horrible, unimaginable suffering. His skin, flesh burning off again and again in horrible, horrific, unimaginable ways in the lake of fire for what he did by trying to get more than he already had when he was already in paradise in heaven. He was the best looking one, and he came up with the idea of meanness to others to try to hurt them and get more. And that's sin. And there are other types of sin. Lying. He's a liar. He distorts God's truth. All the sin that he does. You know, there's people who pretend they're saying one thing. Oh, I didn't get in trouble for it. I'm an all-American. Look at that guy in the back of the classroom eating my shit, suffering and ready to kill himself. I didn't see him. I'm the most popular guy around. You know, those people, if you say that about them, they'll try to fucking kill you. They'll try to fucking kill you with following the law, not the law of the Bible. Actually, not the law. The Bible is the law. The Antichrist is going to be the lawless one, meaning the Bible. That's the only real law, is the Bible and the New Testament. The Bible and the New Testament. The other law follows it pretty well. And you're, of course, supposed to follow the regular laws. You know, you don't want to get in trouble. But those people who follow the laws of society and don't get in trouble are living a lie inside their thoughts. They distort their truth of their thoughts, which are selfish and self-serving, like the devil serving himself any way he can, of any meanness imaginable to hurt others, to get as much stuff and earthly things as they can for themselves, while they lie so they don't get in trouble for it and create the illusion of following the law, which they may or may not be following, and calling others crazy when they don't follow, when they think that they are making others think that they're breaking the law. And then they're going against the Bible the whole time, working in unrighteousness, and they'll get taken down to hell for all eternity. Some of them when God judges them, but maybe not any in particular that I'm talking about. I don't know. You know, they might go to heaven. So, but some of those people, like, you can't be mean to them. Like, I think I was mean to them in some of my videos, like, oh, those people who made fun of me in schools for my image, for my body image, and the way my face looked. For I'd say every inch of my body, for its appearance, they had made fun of all of it, and the way my face looked. They had done that in schools. Sounded like Donald Trump saying it. And it took so much work to try to get confident. And I really wasn't quite confident like they all had been all those years growing up. They didn't have real problems of much of any for their physical appearance. And I had to be there with them every moment of those schools, every day for like 10 years, which a lot of it was difficult. Some of it was okay. Some of it I was good at and okay. But I felt like I had like an insecurity about my appearance or body dysmorphic disorder. I thought there was something wrong with myself. And that went away when I married my wife. When God brought me together as an equal, and then I was confident with my appearance like she was, and it wasn't a problem anymore. It was a miracle. It all went away. I was very confident when I was brought together as one flesh with my wife. Um, I no longer worried about this part of them looking at it, or this part of them looking at it while I was in a classroom, noticing all their eyes looking at me. Had no idea what the teacher was saying. As hard as I tried to understand what the teacher was saying, and I had to go to all those schools out of God's work. It was what God wanted for me. Then I got to be famous, or I got to be kind of famous. Not a big A-lister, but pretty famous. But it was 10 years or 20 or 15 years or something of suffering in all these colleges. I could not feel okay in a classroom most of the time. I don't know. It was, I just had difficulty with like I don't know. And I'm not angry at the kids who made fun of me, or I don't know. I'm gonna go. It's kind of cold. I think I'm gonna go. It's kind of cold. I was trying to be social. This was my way of socializing, making a video to finally talk to people. Like, how do I talk to people? What would I even do going into town? What would I do there? Waste of time. I like to, when I socialize, I like to work at something. I like to achieve, I like to be working at something, or at home with my family, or, I know I'm supposed to be kind to family and people, but it's a lot of God's work for there, because it feels like there's very little for myself in any of it. And it's a lot of God's work. It's frightening. It's frightening. And I've had to eventually, no matter how I felt, leave my house, go out and see a waking nightmare of hell. I saw hell, people pulled up on crosses and shit, like giving me a show of hell, had to go out there and work in it. That's what my life became. And that's when I was shown hell, and I realized, oh, it took me years to know what I had seen. And then I realized I saw all these other people talking about, and then I read in the Bible, that's what hell is described as. That's in hell. That's in hell. It's not an Illuminati facility where they have these mean ass demon like devilish people. That stuff's not good. It's not good. I finally figured out what it really is. That's the stuff that's down in hell. And heaven is infinitely beautiful. The kindness to others, whether or not your arm is strong, if this is fat like an old person or whatever the heck it is, but we're kind to others. And I don't want to like totally do things to hurt myself. Telling the truth about stuff. I haven't seen any wild animals that I'm aware of. Besides some deer. I did walk down the hill I did jog a little bit one day. Sounded like a televangelist. I jogged one day, and there were two deer with bushy white tails, more not cute and nice deer. Like, they're good deer, I guess, but they were like more like big, and they had almost frightened me and I thought maybe there's a bear there, so I tried to act big. And because a bear won't attack a human usually. There are ways that you learn about, like, a bear is not going to attack anyone usually. There are 3 bear attacks in North America a year, and usually none of them kill anyone. They don't try to fight people. Bears don't usually try to fight people, but don't get close to them and make friends with them, because that's like, you don't want to feed them or anything like that. You want to get away from them if there's a bear there. like there was one, like you, but I saw two deer, but they weren't like cute, innocent deer. There's a baby deer and her mom that I saw. This was really sad. This was a couple years ago, and I think later it made me cry. The mother came back, and I think the little doe had died. I think the little doe, maybe a larger animal or something, or who knows. I don't know what happened, but the little doe wasn't there anymore. And the mother kept coming back to my house because I was nice. I talked to her when she was there, and I'd say, "Hey, hi," and try to let her know she can come to my property and won't get hurt. And I was nice to the deer. It made me cry because I didn't see the baby with her anymore, and I don't know what happened to the baby, but I think she died or something. But the mother kept coming back, and then there were these two, like more like used to being around, like acting big in nature so they wouldn't get hurt or something, deer, that when I was going for a jog. And that oh, and I talked to Tim down the hill. I talked to Tim down the hill for a while. He's my neighbor. Uh, um, and the cats, but something about the cat, I don't know. I don't want to talk to it right now. Hey. So I haven't really talked to that many people. Um, there was a woman who was gonna come here and help me clean my house, who is attractive and about my age, and but then she said she could only show up for 2 days to help, and I was like, I was afraid it would. I was afraid I'd get too tempted to fornicate or something like that. So I had to call the whole thing off and be with nobody instead because I thought fornicating was bad. And I don't know. But I don't want to live that way, like fornicating, to have that closeness with a really special woman who I'm in love with. I don't want to fornicate because what fornicating is sex outside of marriage. Sex outside of marriage. That's fornicating. When you're married, it's not fornicating, but there are a lot of rules on that. And real marriage is with a husband and wife who God brings together. That's special. That's special. So I don't know. I hope I don't have to end up, I don't know what, it's been alone for so long. It has, when I finally quit the medicine and quit caffeine, I felt so well adjusted again for a few days or a little longer. And no anxiety, happy again. And my appetite went down too, and I started losing weight. I've lost like 16 pounds, 10 pounds or 16 pounds. Marriage is a pipe dream for you, you said. Oh, I don't understand why, but you don't want to sign a legal document. I don't know what it is. Hi. Uh, uh, I'm not sure I understand that. You could be an adult or a child. I don't know what I had difficulty reading it while giving myself a close-up that shows my face and reading and understanding it really well, but I'll try. Marriage is a, you think it's a pipe dream for you, maybe really a pipe dream for you. And God may want it that way. He wants it that way for a lot of us. Legal guardianship, conservatorship over me. Legal guardianship? So that means you're a child? I'm not sure I understand. You shouldn't get married as a child. And, you know, there might be some exceptions for another child. You don't want to marry someone older. Ugh, you know, that's creepy. You don't want to marry somebody older. That's wrong. You know, if you're a child. Maybe if you're 14, like you can marry somebody who's 15. I don't know. In the old days, that's how people got married, younger, in the South too. But sometimes it's just how they... Your parents are your legal guardians, but you're 49? I don't get it. Maybe God wants you to honor your parents and go to them instead of being married. Sometimes that happens. So far, I think that's how, well, some other people... I got married. I know I got married, but other people, they might, I don't know. They got to figure out what their priorities or reasons for getting married are. You should be with someone not to get a lot of money or, you know, I don't know. Hey. Hey. I'm still like 10 pounds heavier than I was when I was making those videos earlier this year playing music and stuff. I don't know why my hair is this color, but I'm trying to make it a regular color from here on out. There was still blue in it from when I had dyed it, and it was longer. But I'm going to have it a regular color. Yeah, I think somebody else I know, I thought maybe somebody was after like marrying somebody who was like had more money and stuff or something, or I don't know. You can get, it's up to God. I don't know. I've never heard of a document like that that says you can't marry anyone. That sounds like it could be, I don't know what that is. I've never heard of something like that for an adult. I don't know what that is, but I don't know. Like you don't know with those famous people in Hollywood, they could be false idols. They could be false idols and give people the wrong idea about stuff. Or they could be really kind, good people that you get along with who are going to get into heaven the same as some poor people. And some poor people could be really mean and they could go to hell. I mean, I'm not telling them they can go. I don't say that to people. I don't say you can go to hell. I don't say that to people. I never say it. That's playing God. I mean, God will judge them and might send people to hell. But like, I don't tell people to go to hell. Also, this is really important. Hell is not on earth. You know, you may have no concept of how horrible hell really is. To think that hell could be on earth? No, it's not. It was shown to me. That's why I know. Uh, a man pulled up on a cross by these people in the shadows, um, with an animal head, a giant animal head put on his body, beating his body, not giving him a moment's rest of anything, then bringing his 16-year-old daughter in to allow him some rest for the beating, for the things that they made his daughter do to him. It's horrific. Every waking moment, these unimaginable, really bad, really, really bad things. Your worst fear times 10 or 100 in unimaginable ways. The cursing that they do down there, the cursing itself is stuff that we don't hear up here. It's like really bad. The types of curse words, it's demons. It's demons and the devil. It's demons and the devil who are sent down from, they were sent to hell for being mean and starting sin. The devil started sin, and then he turned all those angels into mean people, or angels, or whatever beings they were. But it's way worse. And you know, people down there might be kind of mean or nice too, but they're all suffering. All the people down there are suffering. They don't have a chance of ever feeling good. The demons do, the devil does, but guess what? A human will never be a demon. It's impossible. We'll always be a human being. Even after we die, our soul will resemble the way we look now. But for those of us who got tricked by the demons and the devil into being mean on earth, then the devil and the demons have them down in hell to hurt them and do these mean ass things to them however they feel like, their whole existence, every waking moment for all eternity, until they're all thrown in the lake of fire. Even the demons and the devil and all the bad humans that went to hell, they get thrown in the lake of fire for all eternity. I'd like the humans to not go, but God has it that way for some reason. And they know once they're in hell, they supposedly have a lot of remorse and they regret having lived that way. And they finally see the truth. They finally see God's truth and the truth about how everything is. And they love God and Jesus. And that's what hell is being so far and so separate from the love of God and Jesus, the love and acceptance that's in heaven, which is overwhelming. It's really beautiful and overwhelming in heaven, the love and acceptance we get to feel there. And it's important to be kind to others. Some people think that they have to keep working and working and do more than they think. And it got me thinking a little bit, you know, maybe I have plenty already. Maybe I have plenty already. I don't know who to socialize with out there. It's not going to be my wife and kids unless I can make it all the way to Texas, stay in some hotel to be able to see my kids, with the hopes that staying there long enough, maybe she'll change her mind and let me into her house, which I don't know if that'll happen or what. So, I don't know. Sometimes I think if we had stayed in Los Angeles and not gone back to her parents when we got married, then it would be okay, I think. But I don't know if that's right. I think that, I don't know. Because it says you leave your mother and father to be at one with your husband or wife. For those of us who get married, if God doesn't want you to be married ever, then you're supposed to honor your parents. You're really supposed to honor your parents for as long as that lasts. And unless God brings you together to be at one with someone special and you really feel you should get married to them, and it's something that God wanted you to leave your parents finally and be at one with that husband or wife. So I don't know what, there are all these rules in the Bible, but it's like not not really rules, it's just really what's right and wrong, really what's sinful and what's good. Fornication is bad, it's a sin, but supposedly God and Jesus can forgive most sins. We try to not sin as much. I don't know how bad fornication is, um, but I don't want to do it if I know it's bad. But it's really tempting sometimes to want that closeness with a woman, like I had when I was married. It's sending me listings of homes. There are all these different things I've been doing since I haven't been on YouTube as much. It's sending me listings of homes in California. You can buy houses around California for pretty cheap. Or I mean, around Los Angeles. And you may be able to rent something in, I think I'd rather be in Los Angeles around the people who are doing the movies and stuff. But I can't imagine still not getting to be with my wife and kids. But to get to go to, it's not like I can just show up and be with Danica and my kids unless maybe I don't know. I can't imagine having to live by myself in Texas, to get to see my own kids and have people there around them where I don't feel as comfortable being myself with them, being a good father, unless, I'm just supposed to make look at it, make the best of what it is and just go there somehow. And I don't know if I can right now, especially with COVID-19. It's kind of frightening. Um, Especially having gained 10 pounds. Like, I don't know what it would do to me. Oh, I get it. You're autistic and have Asperger's. So they say, so you're not supposed to sign legal documents. See, I want to feel happy and okay. Oh, okay. Well, maybe you have some agreement with your parents. I don't know. Finally taking a break. I wrote a book. I wrote a book. I really did a good job writing it. I had at one point when I was writing it gained like 26 pounds from medicine. I was on all this heavy medicine, this psychiatric medicine, because all this horrible stuff happened. Anyway. Shit. And I lost weight. I lost 16 pounds now. And I wrote a whole book. And you can be skinny and write a book if you're not on all that heavy meds. Didn't get me high. I've never taken medicine that, I've never been prescribed medicine that got me high. It was medicine, anyway. Someone is watching me, trying to collect information to hurt me. Someone is watching me, trying to collect information so they can hurt me. Yep. See what he says. See what he says. Got a strong sense that someone was actually trying to do that. Don't say anything at all. And I said something anyway, fucked up everything I was saying into something, meant something different. A mean person with a mean intent that I was warned about. I don't know. I got to do all the promotion. I have to do all the promotion myself and stuff like that. I'm going to go. I'm going to go. It's going to be how to be a filmmaker. I wrote most of the book. I'm probably one of the best types of people who can fucking write a filmmaking book, how-to book. Okay, I gotta go. Bye. For that particular thing, I'm an expert at those kinds of things. I gotta go. I feel like some jerk is watching me who's against me or something. Sorry, everyone else who's kind. Okay, bye. I don't know. I got a thought like somebody's watching you, wants to hurt you. Okay, bye. 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 If you can, click like in the video. If you don't want to, don't. I'm out of here. Okay, bye.